Welcome to Daddies, the podcast. I'm Greg.
And I'm Eric.
And also, happy 4th of July.
Yes, happy 4th of July. When this airs, tomorrow then will be the 4th of July. Is that right? This is going to be Wednesday night.
The 4th of, so the 4th of July is what, on a Thursday?
So a lot of people will be listening to this on the 4th of July.
Yeah. So happy 4th of July. Happy America Day.
That's right. And for said holiday, I have some fun facts about the 4th of July.
All right, what you got?
If you could guess, how many glizzies, how many hot dogs, how many wieners do you think that Americans are going to eat on the 4th of July?
Well, I mean, so we have to say, on the 4th of July, hot dogs, burgers, and that's pretty much it, right? Like those are the two most consumed things, right?
You can assume potato salad, but ain't nobody counting that.
And that's not food in terms of that's not a main course, because you can also factor in fucking strawberry pretzel salad, which, by the way, dude, I love strawberry pretzel salad. Okay, but I think worldwide or just America-wide?
America.
I'm going to say 17 million. Did I just give you a number that was way higher than it is?
That would have been disappointing. But I'm going to say you're not even close.
Way more?
You could more than triple that.
All right, so how much?
Keep going.
40 million?
I'll give it to you. 150 million wieners are going to be consumed that day.
Does it say if they're foot long or if they're
nope, standard glizzies? I assume that a foot long counts as 2 hot dogs.
And right? Ironically enough, I would rather eat a hot dog that was boiled in water than a hot dog on the grill.
I don't know. I like a nice charred hot dog. Right off the grill.
They're good. They're so good, especially burnt, full of carcinogens. But there's just something about hot dogs boiled in that dirty water, especially when you go to New York.
When you drop them in, or you just put them in and they start boiling, the water becomes greasy immediately.
Oh yeah. Well, but then you save that water.
And then you drink that water.
Because that was a Limp Bizkit album.
Was it Limp Bizkit?
Like a chocolate.
No, it
was chocolate starfish and hot dog flavored water. Or
no idea. I didn't listen to those guys.
Yeah, same. But I do remember that album. I wasn't allowed to have it. It was one of those, parental advisory.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it was. It was probably heavily debated.
And I feel like too when albums used to be a thing. You would say fuck once and it would automatically become a parental advisory thing.
Yep.
Now, I think PG-13 movies, you can say fuck 2 or 3 times before you get hit with a rated R, before it gets rated R. I think albums, you can definitely say fuck more than one time before it becomes parental advisory.
Wasn't it, was it Breaking Bad, they could say one really bad word per season or something like that?
Well, you are allowed to say fuck on television.
What? AMC is cable, not right.
So I was watching Straight Outta Compton on FX, and every other word is some sort of obscenity and obscenity. Yeah. And I was like, wow, it's because before Comedy Central used to do it. Do you remember? It would be late night
only.
And they would play, it would be stand-up specials or South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, but it wouldn't happen until 1 a.m.
Yep.
And every other word was fuck or cunt or whatever, and that was acceptable.
Yeah.
But now, USA, dude, you turn on a rated R movie, it's not censored anymore, and I don't think they have to be. I think it's up to I don't know if it's up to the provider or who makes that call. I don't know the rules behind that, because most of the shit that I watch is either on my phone or whatever, or HBO, and HBO has always been uncensored. So that's always just kind of been a thing.
Yeah.
But
okay,
but ready? AMC, they Breaking Bad, I think that was one of the first shows where what did she say? Sky, when she finds out that Walt is cooking meth, she goes and fucks Ted. She's like, well, I fucked Ted. And it was like, oh, but you said that on like on TV.
Right. Prime, like a prime time cable. Like not,
I think
not
that
like
show came
premium
on at like
cable.
9 o'clock. Yeah, man.
Right.
And then even in The Walking Dead, like the last season, there's a scene where the zombies get smart at the end, and they learn how to climb and open doors, and they can climb boxes.
Spoilers.
Well, yeah, that show's been done for 5 years almost.
Has it really? Shit.
I don't know if it's been that long. 2021, I think.
I stopped watching. I stopped watching when Glenn died under that trash can.
Yeah, that was like 2017. And this isn't like a huge spoiler. So the zombies, they adapt and they learn how to climb. And so there's a scene at the end where all these like smart zombies are taking over, and Negan's like, "What the fuck?" when he sees one climb up a tank. And once again, TV, man, 9 p.m. And it was just acceptable. Mm-hmm. Well, I think too, like the times have changed, right?
Yeah.
Is fuck really that offensive? You know, and it's not like
not
they're
as
saying
offensive
like,
as other words.
Yeah, right. Fuck is actually one of the least offensive words, I would
but those
say,
things
right?
always change. Those things always change. You know, there's words that are offensive now that weren't offensive 50 years ago.
But what makes something offensive? Is it just the general population says, I'm offended by that word? So, like, you say cunt is a big one that offends a lot of people, or people just don't like that word.
But people, I don't want to say it's newer, but like, nobody ever called me a cunt when I was, little. I don't think.
But cunt, but you think of like the UK, cunt and twat. Cunt. I mean, twat is another one.
Yeah.
But we've been watching a lot of The Boys. Billy the Butcher calls everyone a cunt in that show. Yeah. Literally everyone.
So
I think it's just is it dependent on where you are located?
I think so. Yep.
Right.
Definitely.
Like, is that
definitely does. I wonder what they call people in Australia.
I think isn't twat. I think
maybe. Yeah, probably.
But that is also like the 1975. They're a British band. Well, like the 1975 used the word twat in a lot of their songs, you know, and it's just
twat that bad. I always think twat's a kind of a funny one. And that might be because of
Jenna
Dane
hates
Cook.
But
it might be because of Dane Cook. Didn't he call somebody a twat waffle?
Yeah. Well, but is twat like the word moist, where people are like, I hate that word, or do they hate that word because other people hate the word moist? Right? Moist does nothing. There's not a single word that makes me like. Jenna hates the word horny. That's her moist. But like for me,
then how do you let her know?
I say that I'm moist.
And she likes that. Does you saying
I don't
moist
even know
make her moist?
I'm boy am I moist. But I'll say I'm moist if like you like exercise or you're like sweating your dick off, and it's like, oh, I'm moist.
Look how moist I am.
You know?
Yeah. I like to say that when it's humid out. I like to say that it's moist out.
But Isla, I don't know who or the context, but I'm pretty sure she called someone a cunt, and I'm like, you can't. You got to be you got to really not do that, right? Like, don't. And she definitely probably heard it from me.
Probably.
But I think it's one of those things where I don't fucking know. But you know what? Speaking of cunts and you know, so for those of you listening, we had someone who worked with us at our other job pass away, and you know, very tragic, very sudden. But around that same time, someone was let go from where we work. And so I guess people were offended that grief counselors were provided for the passing of this individual, but not the person who got let go.
Absolutely
because his
insane.
His position was dissolved. Right?
Absolutely insane.
We've worked places before where layoffs happen, right? But they are two very.
There's not a place that doesn't exist that doesn't have layoffs.
Especially now, like it just happens and it sucks. And I'm not saying like layoffs are great. Like it sucks. It's shitty. But my thing is, how can you as an individual equate the two? Right? You can't. They are two very different things. Like two very different things. And even if you don't know somebody, right, and somebody passes away, they die, right, to not even if you don't know that person, you can still be empathetic, right, to the situation. And even someone getting laid off, you can be empathetic to that as well. But I'm not mourning you because you are still alive. And to cycle back, that is what makes you a cunt, right? So
speaking of cunts.
Yes, right. That is just
that I lost my shit. I lost my shit when I heard that.
I don't think I've ever been so mad to hear that people are prioritizing that over the death of somebody. That's just fucking ridiculous.
But you know what I did say when I heard that? That when I love my job, right? But if I ever leave, I'm gonna hire a grief counselor for this reason, to come in, and they're gonna come in. It's on me, and people can say Eric's gone. How does that make you feel? Da 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 da, and then I'll provide lunch as well. Give
sure,
people,
and that's what people really want.
But to get the lunch, you have to talk to the grief counselor.
So, okay, hear me out. Do individuals want a grief counselor because the person who is no longer there was just a shield, essentially, to cover up lack of work?
Oh, they had it easy.
And so that person was covering up for your lack of not doing anything, and now you're kind of exposed in a way. And that, to me, especially because I don't know, it just really
daily life was about to get hard for them because they've had it on easy street.
So you're prioritizing once again, like someone's death, essentially. Like that's whatever. But boy, am I really torn up about this.
It sounds like a really greedy thing to do. And take that. I'm a really greedy motherfucker. I think about myself a lot.
Dude, and it's one of those things where you hear all the time, right? If you die today, like, sure, right? Your job would get filled, most likely, because at the end of the day, a business needs to continue operating. But that doesn't mean that, I don't know, I always look at that thing, like, I see a lot of those memes now where it's like, enjoy your life. And you absolutely fucking should. Life is more important than work. It just is, right? At the end of the day, like, we're all going to die, but work is work. You can be replaced if you died. However, I don't necessarily know if I think that's like, so just because you die, like work it should just cease to exist? No, I think that you can, right? Like, I don't know, man. It's such a weird.
I think if it's best case scenario, if you get joy out of work, right? I mean, isn't that the dream, right? Where they say you love your job, you don't ever work a day in your life, whatever. That people have good days and bad days, but if you can get something out of your work, like I think we've talked about this before too, where if you, well, I guess just what I said, like if you enjoy work, like when you're sitting on your deathbed, there's going to be things that you regret. And things that you don't regret. One of the things that you regret is going to be, oh, well, I regret working that really shitty job just to squeeze out an extra $10,000 a year, making myself miserable, missing family time. Like, those are the things that don't matter in the end.
No, at all. And dying is it's a journey that you go on by yourself, right? And no one's coming with you. Like,
hopefully.
Yes, right. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a solo thing, even if, a bunch of you die together.
Sure.
But, yeah, right, you're on your deathbed. We did talk about this. I don't give a fuck about any of that. But if where I worked, I'm a big believer, if you're not happy where you are, then just don't be there anymore, right? And I always tell everyone wherever I go, look, if I feel like I can't give you something or I can't get something out of it, then I don't know if that's the best place for me. And I think that's fair because, when I had a previous job, I worked in the correction, sector, youth corrections.
You went to jail.
I went to jail. And
Every day for
the
work.
individual that... And you want to talk about cunts, the individual that was my supervisor, state workers are a whole fucking different entity. They can tell you down to the specific minute when they're going to fucking retire, and they look at you sideways if you say, hey, I don't necessarily maybe want to do this forever because, you know what, a pension, that's cool, but I can make more money in a 401k or a Roth IRA or whatever. And so why sacrifice my mental health for some shitty fucking pension just to check a fucking, you know, some box, you know, a proverbial box maybe. But the individual I worked for, so the state had a system. After 3 call-outs, you got put on a plan if you didn't have documentation.
3 in a row?
I don't know. It was like, I think it was within like a period of time.
Like a rolling,
right? So,
like a rolling year.
It was rolling unless you had a doctor's note or you were excused or whatever. But the individual I reported to, I would call out, and I think I had fucking diarrhea, right? Like sick. As someone who oversaw food, can't come in, right? And he had this green journal, and he would write it down, and he would call me in, and he said, August 16th, you had gastrointestinal distress. He's like, sometimes, dude, you just got to suck it up. You can't just stay home and play video games. And it was like, number one, fuck you, you know, like, I don't know who the fuck you think you are. And that started like a war between him and I, to the point where like I eventually went and it wasn't just that, but he used to always say the same thing. If you want to stay here, you can make a career. And let me tell you something. I was getting paid $44,000 a year to get that. That is a salary that is very difficult to live on. And I'm not saying you can't, but I think Isla was about to be born, or like Jenna was just pregnant. So for two
Didn't
people
you already
in
have
a
your
house,
masters as well?
Yeah, exactly. So, nah, I'm good. And I took that job as a stepping stone, and it really worked out for me. Now, like, I did learn a lot, but people like that, fuck you, man, dude, shame on you. You know, that is such an old school mentality.
You know what? He's probably really miserable too.
He is fucking miserable. And he would always say the same thing. You'd say, hey, what's up? And he would say, my weight, my blood pressure. And it's like, What
about same shit, different day? Or what's the other classic white guy thing?
Living the dream.
Living the dream.
And he would also say, if someone was just like, you know, face, you know, smile.
Ew.
It's like, yo, dude, I have fucking beef with. Don't you ever tell me to fucking smile. You know, who the fuck are you? So there are some really shitty. You know, that would be another definition of a cunt, I think. And there are some really fucking shitty people, and they think that work should be everything, and that couldn't be further from the fucking truth, man.
Yeah, that's okay.
Like,
let them think that. They haven't figured it out yet.
Because, yeah, right. You're not going to change. People say that like our generation, nah. I would argue that that's not always the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know what? God damn it! I just wanted to.
Cunts.
That is yes. But by the way, I noticed you got a haircut.
I did get a haircut. See my neck? It's not hairy. Yeah, you got a haircut too.
I got a haircut too. But we get totally different haircut. Our haircut experience is different, right? So you go to a barbershop. I go to a salon.
Yeah.
For me, they wash your hair. They don't wash your hair.
No, they don't. They have a sink, but it's full of stuff because nobody gets their hair washed at the barbershop.
Can you though?
Yeah, I asked one day if not to get it done, but I asked if they have used it, and he said, "Yeah, maybe like I've seen it once," and he's been there for years. So like really nobody goes in there for it.
And the dude would legitimately he would wash your hair.
I guess if I asked him to, I guess he probably would. He'd probably look at me like, "Come on,"
and he'd probably be fucking mad. But for sure. That's why I go, because there's just something therapeutic about like getting your head put into that bowl, and they hit you with the shampoo and the conditioner, and I'm all about it. The whole experience. And people were there drinking mimosas. I
used to go to a place like that when I had long hair.
But the thing is too, though, like it's always kind of tough because you go to the same person. Typically, you go to the same barber.
Okay, well, how about this? I do, and I'm not going to take my hat off right now because I don't want to show it. Also, wires, and I can't hear you. But I'll go. So I haven't been going to the barbershop for a very long time. I had very long hair for a long time, over 10 years of like most of my adult life. I've had long hair it's only been for the last like 5 years. I've had short hair. And so I'm not pro barbershop guy. I don't know it that well. So I walk in and I see a bunch of guys waiting. And this is almost every time now. I see a bunch of dudes waiting for their barber. And I walk in and I go to sit down because for sure I'm going to wait. Nope. My guy goes, my friend, you want a haircut? Like, and I go, and he's this Asian guy, and all he does is he watches the like the stock market. He's got like the what are the like the little candles and going up and down. Yeah, he's watching all that stuff. And I go to everybody there. I'm like, you no.
Hey.
They're like, no, I'm waiting.
No.
And I'm not stupid. I know it. I know what that means. I know it means that they don't like the way that he cuts their hair.
Yeah.
And anyway, every single time my man cuts my hair, I always walk out looking like Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder.
Fucking
every single
Ben
time.
Stiller.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what his what my barber's name is, but I call him Simple Jack. I tell him I get the Simple Jack. That's not what I ask for when I go to him. I should ask him what his name is.
But at least you consistently know you're going to get that, right? So
and then I'll tell you what, it might just be like a culture thing. The way that he like leaves it when he's done, he's like, I can't imagine that he thinks it's great. I don't know what it is, but he gets done. He's like combing me, and he goes, he spins me around, and I just go, well, that looks great. Thank you. And then when I go home and I shower and I can like style it myself, it doesn't look bad.
Then it's
fine.
Doesn't
look bad. It looks fine. But when I walk out of there, I'm definitely like looking for people that I know. Like,
please don't see me. Did you ever see that meme where it's like Ben Affleck and he's like your hairstylist or your barber after they fuck up your hair, and it's like, stylist, do you like it? And it's like Ben Affleck smoking a cigarette. He's like, I like it, and knowing damn well that like it does not look. So, but it's consistent, right? So, like, yes. I go in and I say, hey, I want to get a haircut. They say, okay, what's your name? I tell them, I say, hey, it's Greg. They say, okay, cool. Sit down at any bowl. They wash my hair, and then you get whomever. And so, luck of the draw. And like today, she did a good job. I told her, I said, hey, I want a 1.5 all the way around and keep it longer up top, but shorter. And then they always say the same thing. Oh, it's been a while. I was like, it really hasn't. It's just like dude hair grows really fucking fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she cut it, and she did a really good job. But sometimes they cut it, and it's just like, like they'll leave like a lot on the side, and then you can't like blend it, and like it's like, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Did Trevor send you the picture of him with that one haircut he got?
Of him
just on the back of the neck,
fucked it up.
The shape up looked like he looked like a dickhead. He literally looked like a dickhead.
Well, and that's so okay. So if I go to shout out Town Hair Salon, they've been taking care of me for literally, dude, I shit you not, maybe since I've been like 6 years old. I've been going there.
Long ass time.
It is. And I go there because, one, I know that their stylists are normally pretty fucking good. Like they're solid. And
let me ask you this.
So the thing is, yeah.
Somebody washed your hair. Was it the same person that cut your hair?
Nope.
So
nope.
do you tip your hair washer?
So I do. Okay. Typically, I'll do a couple bucks, but
I don't know what to do for that.
You don't have
that's
to.
all
So
that it is.
Someone I graduated high school with, she used to cut my hair there, and so I asked her. I was like, "Hey, am I supposed to? I know obviously I'm supposed to tip you, but should I tip them?" And she's like, "They don't really care as much because they are paid hourly." So they're not like reliant, but also like you think about like a hairstylist, and I don't know how barbers work, but it's probably the same way. Well, I take that back. I think barbers have to pay for their seat.
I think so too. Like a tattoo shop, right?
Most hair salons, okay, it was say $28 to get my haircut. They get 14, the shop gets 14. It's 50-50 split. So, dude, you think about that. You're doing hair, like if I'm dyeing your hair, that's going to be probably like almost $200. So that's $100 right there, though, but not including the tip. So, you know, there is money to be made. And I think with barbers, though, the difference is you're not dyeing hair, right? So you're not doing perms and you're not doing these hundreds of. So my thing is, I need to turn this seat 10 times an hour, maybe 5 times an hour. Like if it's slow, whatever. Like I don't know what the
and
ROI
Simple
is.
Jack does that
but
very well. He does that very well. It's
well,
just a shame that nobody's in his seat when I get there.
So, but the thing is though, I went to a barbershop and it's the wild fucking West. So you all sit down and then, all right, next, and everyone stands the fuck up.
No, you got to remember. No, you got to remember. It's a fucking memory game.
But I feel like people don't do that. And,
I know.
And, you know,
well,
I feel
you
like
got to speak up.
Like, oh, I was here first.
You got to speak
like,
up and say
yo,
that.
dick lips.
Yeah. but then it goes a game of like, hey, I was next, but I'm waiting. I don't want to go to. I'm not going for you. I'm waiting for that guy. I'm waiting for Mark or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
It is fucking confusing.
For me, it's stressful, man.
You might get me back into the salon life.
Have you been to Town Hair Salon before?
No. Should I try it?
It's nice. Give them a try. I don't know how much does it cost to get your hair cut at the barbershop.
$28. You said it exactly.
Okay, so same thing.
How much do you tip?
$10.
That's exactly what I. Yeah, we spent exactly the same thing.
So say $40 for a haircut.
Yep.
That's significantly cheap. I get my haircut every 2 weeks, so $20 a month.
But I like the idea of getting my hair washed. I like that.
So and they have beer.
They have beer.
They'll say yeah. So they have beer and I never. There was someone drinking a mimosa there, and I was like, that kind of looks dope, but I'm not gonna get. Our haircuts are a little bit different, but you just have the little like black hairs. You know what I mean? Like if I'm getting my hair done, so
yeah. What if it's just sitting in my beer?
Would you ever dye your hair?
I did when I was really little.
I like the idea of bleaching my hair. Would that look weird?
I mean,
I don't know if I could pull it off. Like I'm graying. I'm going gray. I'm definitely going gray. Do you have any gray in your hair, really?
Right here in my beard.
Not really.
Right here in my beard. Just a little bit.
But
just
it's
a little bit.
Very, very.
Not a lot, baby girl. I also have some here too.
So I'm significantly grayer than you.
Yeah, you got it. You got a big old patch right there.
I right here, and then up top, like I definitely. It's and whatever. Like I don't care. I'd rather be gray.
Better gray than
bald.
Yep.
But could I pull off blonde? I don't think I could. I love the idea of. I was thinking about that. I like the idea of it. Man.
I got a friend, Vinny, that he went blonde. He bleached his hair blonde like Ken for a costume. Ken from the Barbie movie.
Sure, really fucking committed.
He really was, and it was like pretty comical. But I think if you know the way that a person looks all the time, it's not going to look like what you're used to seeing, right? So it might look fucked up. But if you like went out and introduced yourself to somebody that's never seen you before, they might say that hair looks
like,
really good because that looks like normal. So you can't ask anybody that you know.
But and that is something I could bleach my hair myself. But
Probably.
if I get it done at the shop, dude, I one mimosa, please. You know what I mean? Like I get the
wait,
but that's probably over $100 thing.
All right, you ready? Let's go get frosted tips and drink mimosas.
Okay,
Sunday.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm absolutely down for that.
We'll have it. Yeah, we'll do it for our vacations that are coming up soon, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Where are you going?
Lake
Because I don't think I don't know. And is that in Virginia?
It is. It's in
Maryland.
It's in this place. It looks like it's pronounced. It's in Virginia. Bump ass Maryland or Virginia. I'm sorry. Bump ass Virginia. I'm sure it's pronounced Bumpus. Bumpus. But it definitely looks like Bump ass Virginia. But yeah, Lake Anna. Our friends have a boat, and they usually do it. They actually do it a lot, but we do one big friends trip with them, and it's just an Airbnb. That lake is interesting. Last year we went there. There's like two sides of the lake. There's a private side where it's just residential homes.
Yep.
And you can't get to the public side from there. Like, I don't know how long it would take or if it's even possible. But this year we're staying on the public side, and the public side has a lot of like restaurants and places that you can go dock to. We've done that at like the in like Chesapeake City before. Our other friends live in a community where they have like a slip, and taking their boat down there, and it's pretty fucking cool. You almost feel like a pirate. You dock in, and then they'll like start bringing you food, or you can go into the restaurant, and then you just leave and you just drive your boat away. It's very cool.
Now, I don't think I've ever been on like a like not like big boat. Like I don't think.
Yeah, never on like
my mom's husband has one, but I don't think I've been out on it. And they're always like, you can park the boat and then get off and go to the restaurant, and then you get back on and you just fucking go.
Yeah.
So are you going? You're going for a week?
Something like that. Yep.
So we'll actually be on vacation the same time.
Yeah. And where are you going?
So we're going to Jacksonville, Florida. You know what? The big reason, though, so you were at our wedding 10 years ago for our 10-year anniversary. Fuck, we're going back to where we got married, and dude, that place is so fucking nice. Yeah. So we're gonna stay for a night. And I think like we're doing the oceanfront package, so it comes with like a bottle of champagne, free breakfast. Oh yeah,
money.
Oh yeah. But you know what?
10-year anniversary.
It comes with 10-year anniversary for one night, and then so we'll do dinner like right there. Valet, so it's like everything. You get everything. But yeah, dude, we could only afford one night. It's so fucking expensive. But One Ocean was one of the nicest, if not still to this day, the nicest hotel that I've ever stayed in.
Sure, it probably was for me as well.
Yeah. And you get it's going to be expensive when they include a complimentary cheese and meat tray. That,
and it's going to be good.
And it's probably it's going to be good.
It's going to be really good.
So we're looking forward to that, but we try to get down to Florida once a year. Jenna's parents live down there, and typically we'll do like the Jacksonville Zoo. The Jacksonville Zoo is one of the better, if not one of the best zoos I've ever been to. In terms of like animals, how big it is, and it's set up like some zoos are really fucking confusing, right? And so you don't know like where the fuck you're going, but here it's like it's pretty straightforward. And dude, they have the best condiments in their fucking food court. So like normally you go and you get some chicken strips. What do you got? You got ketchup, mustard, and barbecue sauce. Dude, they got honey mustard. They got like spicy ranch. They got ranch on the little pumps. On tap. I know. Dude, it's wild.
We were just talking about
that's what I want. Like that.
Yeah. I'll go to any restaurant that's going to be liberal with their sauces and condiments. Like that's what I want. I feel like who does a really good job of that?
Used to be this place down there.
Chick-fil-A does a good job with that.
Sure. Not as well as Hardee's. So Eric and I went to Hardee's a couple weeks ago, and the service there, it was sublime. The dude came over with the little sauce caddy, and he said, "Can I offer you a refreshing? Can I offer you a refresher?" And he had every sauce they had, and it was like in this little caddy. But yeah, so the Jacksonville Zoo, the condiments, amazing. And then there's this restaurant. I don't know if they're still open. I haven't checked in a while, but it's called the Green Papaya. And dude, they have some really fucking good food too. There's a lot of cool places to eat down there, and there's also this place called the Caddy Shack, which is like this fucking just reserve for like lions and tigers, and it's literally, think of a trailer with a bunch of chain link fences with just wild fucking animals in there.
That's
it's no different than if we drove into Townsend, and but it's cool, and it's like help support the tigers. I just think of fucking Tiger King every time we go there. But something else that Florida has, I don't know if you've ever been, is Publix. And so sure. Publix is a really cool grocery store, but it's also, I don't even want to say it's expensive because all stores are fucking expensive. But I'll tell you what I'm really excited for.
Hit me.
So 2 months ago, I had to get a new computer, right? And so you and I went to the Apple store, and I feel like I always have to tell people this because you were there as a witness, and I said to the individual, "Hey, here's what I'm doing. I do a lot of editing on Premiere Pro." And I said, "Will this Mac Mini work?" And what did he say?
He said it will run it no problem. He'll run it, no
will
problem.
run it, no problem. And so I bought it. 2 months later, I had to, and it essentially shit the bed, dude. It was like, I guess I was overworking it. So every time it would wake up from being in sleep mode, it would say, your computer had to reset or restart due to an error. And so it got to a point, dude, it was taking hours to export. Like we record in 1080, and it was taking hours to export. So I went out and I got the MacBook Pro, which has been leaps and bounds, right? Like it's so much fucking better. But I'm excited because I can take that with me, so I'll still be able to do shit when. So like I think it's nice to have. Desktops are great, but laptops also have a purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like I think they all kind of.
We need to see share your setup. Post what you got your setup over there as, because you have all the gear.
Yep,
over there.
I have, like, it looks like I'm looking at it now like a minus I got my Xbox there, but that's important too because we're gonna talk about that. But it looks good, and I think now we've kind of been able to pick out our who and what we're comfortable with, like which companies and which brands work well for us, and that can obviously change over time. But I think really like we've been doing this now long enough where we are now like we're able to, I don't know, kind of be more picky with what we use.
Yeah, we know what we want. We know what we like, and we know what we don't like.
But you know what you need?
What do I need?
I think you need to get a new router. I think it's time for you to get a new router, homie.
No, the router's fine. It's just on the other end of the house, and Shay keeps putting fucking paper on top of it. There was another piece of paper on there.
Oh, was there? What if you get an extender for upstairs?
Maybe.
I think that might be a good.
Kevin sent that link of the turn your electrical kind of system into a hard connection. I don't know if that works or not.
So here's what we do. We have the Orbi router. So I have the same Verizon router that you have, and I use that to so that goes from the like Verizon box, and that gets plugged in. But I disabled Wi-Fi on it, and then all of the hard wires run through that, and then I use an Orbi as my house router, and that Orbi then feeds upstairs to a satellite, and that satellite pumps out. Because my house was the same way. For whatever reason, it was just a dead zone on the other side of the house. Like, didn't fucking do anything. But that's been great. So, I know Eric and I were having some issues last night trying to play Fortnite together.
Oh, it was miserable. We should play right now.
But, so we interviewed our good friend Pat, a.k.a. Ham Hands McGrizzle. And so check out his Twitch channel if you haven't already. Pat's funny as fuck. Like I love Pat. Yeah. But something that Eric and I want to start doing is we talked about eventually wanting to get into the streaming spectrum, right? Like we wanted to start doing that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we both have the gear for it now, don't we?
We have the gear for it now. Yeah. I think we could do it. But if anyone is listening and you have any recommendations, let us know, because that's something that I'm not 100% on yet. Like, I don't really know, and I'm sure you watch some YouTube videos and figure out how to do it, kind of like this. But I don't want to, I don't like half-ass and shit. So
when you go in, you go all in.
But it's nice because we don't have to get anything for it. Like, we do have the stuff for it. We have everything you need for it.
You know what I do need?
Maybe. I don't know.
A gaming chair.
A chair?
A fucking chair. This thing is going to kill my back.
You know what? Let's get some gaming chairs. If you're listening, any gaming chair makers.
Secret Lab, right? Isn't that the popular one?
You know what? That's what Pat has, right?
Yes.
I've been seeing a lot of those not pop up, but I noticed people like watch somebody on YouTube or TikTok that streams or Twitch, whatever. They're using that chair. They are.
Something to be said.
Pillow.
Yeah. So Silas got one not that long ago for I guess it was for his birthday, or maybe it was for Christmas. But it also reclines like all the way back and has a little like kickstand for your legs. So he could actually like lay down on it and sleep if he wanted to.
Take a fucking nap.
It also has a little back pillow. I guess if you want to sleep in a chair.
So you're sitting in a fucking kitchen table chair, right?
Let me tell you, it's not just a kitchen table chair. This bottom, I'm not even gonna like get out of it and try to show you. The bottom isn't even a hard bottom. It's just pulled over like the sides and then like stapled or sewn in. It's the most uncomfortable chair I think that I've ever sat in.
It looks like the chair in Casino Royale when Daniel Craig is getting his nut slapped with the rope and they cut out like the fucking
to the left.
It's to the left. That's what it fucking reminds me of. You should like fucking tie your hands behind that.
You cut out the bottom. Just dip my nuts in there.
My chair. So my chair is definitely less like it's more comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's not great. It's 100% not great, but I can sit in this for hours. Yours, I feel like, is a fucking struggle.
Yeah, if you see me moving around a lot, it's because I'm trying to get not decrepit.
And two, if you notice, Eric and I are in different locations. Just because we both upgraded. I want to say we both upgraded our sets, but the problem was we're using webcams now to record instead of our phones. So
much easier.
And I don't know how. I'm sure there's a way to run them both into a computer, but then there's probably something else that we would have to buy to do that. Mm-hmm. And that's just another. Plus, we have been interviewing a lot of people, so this is an easier setup. So that way, Eric and I can have full attention literally on the guest instead of like us looking at each other while someone else is talking at us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's more natural.
But yeah, I think. It is. I do like it. Your room looks nice and clean too.
Thanks. I took some things off the wall.
It looks good
behind me. Yeah, I'm trying to. I gotta decorate.
We gotta get you something.
Yeah.
I like how the 4 panels look back there.
Yeah. You at least have something.
You know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm giving you back your arm though, so you can bring that home and get that out of the. We'll take that.
This thing's not doing it all the way.
So. You know, the next thing too that you're gonna once that mic shits the bed, you'll have to get one of these Rhodes, man. These are fucking awesome.
I know, I'm jealous of yours.
Well, actually, I take that back. You also have another one of those mics when that one dies.
So I've got to go through.
It came with the arm.
I got to go through 2 Fifines, right? Is that what this brand is?
Well, actually, you have a third because there's another one behind me.
Your old one.
So you got to go through 2, that one and 2 more.
So you're telling me if I could be a little more aggressive with this.
Kudos to Fifine though, because that thing sounds really damn good, and especially for
what it's worth. If anybody's ever thinking about needing a microphone for anything, streaming, podcasting, or anything, I would absolutely recommend a Fifine. But the Rode I think Rode just makes a better product.
And we were talking about that, like, so Fifine, dude, I think it's underrated, right? I haven't tried a lot of the like budget friendly mics, but the Fifine is fucking great. But I'm using the Rode Pod mic, the USB one, and I know you see everyone they use like the Shure, they all use the same one, but I've been seeing a lot of people use this specific one too, and it just sounds. Rode puts out great shit. We are big fans of theirs, but yeah, I think if you want a mic to try, Fifine is a really good. I would recommend also getting a mixer for it if you're going to stream. And that might be something where if you're going to stream, that might be something that you may or may not need. Because I don't know, like through Riverside, it's a little bit different because there's things that can change and I'm able to kind of do some tweaking here. We are also using a Rodecaster Duo to do some mixing. They make the Rode, it's like the solo one where it's like, it literally looks like the Duo, but it's just for one person. But it's still like, dude, they're expensive.
Are they?
Rode isn't cheap. A lot of, you pay for what you get, man. That's how I look at it. Like,
exactly that.
You get what you pay for. And especially like with mixers are fucking money. But Pat pitched one, and I think it was maybe $50. Okay. And if you listen to our episode with Pat, I think that was one of our best sounding episodes, and I really like the way that turned out. And he was, Pat uses that to stream. So I think that that's something to look into.
And he knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for a long time too.
I think he said 6 years.
I welcome everybody's input on stuff to do to get into streaming or recommendations, but I'm probably just going to go to him whenever I'm ready to do it. I'll probably start with some videos,
for sure.
Start getting off the ground myself, and then as soon as I run into an issue, I'll just call Pat.
Help. Well, and Pat has a lot of connections too, so I think that's a really good resource. Or if anyone wants to get into streaming, hit up Ham Hands McGrizzle's Twitch and ask him about it, because he will be. Pat's a very friendly, and he's very approachable.
But he doesn't.
he may not seem that way, but
he does not look approachable at all.
But
if you saw him on the streets, you'd fucking. You might. I mean, not run, but like you'd be like, I'm not gonna fuck with that guy. And yeah, you shouldn't fuck with him because. But yeah, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy.
But Pat in person, he is huge. Like, he is a big motherfucker. But yeah, he's a very friendly individual. So if you have any questions, hit him up. So Eric and I were talking to before, because Pat was our last guest that we had on. It's always weird going from interview to the two of us, and Pat's was more of a hangout because we knew him. But I always appreciate doing these episodes because it allows Eric and I to talk about. I mean, Eric and I see each other pretty much every day at work, but to talk about shit that we can't talk about there. Even though I guess
what's been going on? What's been going on that I could talk about that I can't talk about at work? We kind of talk about whatever we want to at work too. Right?
We do, but this, for the most part, I think it's one of those things where, we like to use this podcast as kind of a way to one, we love our interview episodes, but also you and I use it as a way to kind of just express ourselves, I guess.
Let me express my music bingo jokes that won me a couple prizes.
Oh, yeah, right, okay. So you go to music bingo, every Tuesday? Yeah.
Collectively, Shay or I usually go. I went to 2, and I don't think I'm going to go back for a little while. So here's the one that won me a prize last week. What's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean?
Go on.
I've never had a garbanzo bean on my face.
So... someone made that joke. I wanted to say that was definitely not a joke.
I know you know. Joke. Thanks for humoring me.
Sure. It is funny. It's a funny joke. And that's not a super, I think that's an appropriate music bingo joke.
Oh, for sure. Right? Yeah, they like inappropriate. They like naughty jokes.
It's naughty, but it's not super offensive, right? That's a good play on words.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I won't say my other joke, but it was a 9/11 joke, so I don't know if that's still a sensitive subject or not. But it won me a prize. I'm 2 for 2.
I feel like. Yes. What'd you get?
A pair of glasses and a cooler, a High Noon cooler, one of those little soft pack coolers. You can hold probably 10 beers.
Wait, that's actually kind of dope.
10 or 12 beers. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then
normally you just get a coaster.
Glasses, a Tito's glasses, sunglasses, which I lost because
Of course, they probably.
Drunk.
Well, you got those Shady Rays.
I do have Shady Rays. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah,
did you say you like them?
I do like them. They're fine.
You said they're nice for Amazon, I don't mind them. Right?
I did order them on Amazon. Yeah. No.
I see a lot of Shady Rays.
I ordered Shady Rays directly from their website.
I see a lot of they pop up all the time. They'll say, These aren't Ray-Bans. These are Shady Rays. And they're like, I couldn't even tell the difference. And honestly, dude, at the end of the day, sunglasses are fucking sunglasses. Unless they're Maui Jims.
Maui Jims. I just started learning about Maui Jims. And as soon as I heard you guys talking about Maui Jims, I see them on not everybody's heads, but yeah, they're nice. They're nice glasses.
And I just got a pair, and if you're looking for a super expensive, probably not covered by insurance pair of glasses, Maui Jims. But I'm curious to see. I'm going to take them down to Florida, and if there's normally my Oakleys. I love Oakleys. That's typically what I wear, but the sun, I still get the rays sometimes. So I'm curious to see if these protect my eyes a little bit better. I also probably shouldn't stare at the sun. So
yeah, I would say don't do that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I I hope you enjoy your vacation.
You too.
This, it's I think needed for both of us. We have been doing this for many, many weeks nonstop. Like it really has been, and I love it. Like I do. Like this is like I love it. But I think a week off will be nice to kind of refresh and recharge and just
not even think about podcast stuff. Yeah.
Yep. And I think we deserve that, right?
Yeah, we do. Treat yourself.
Good. Treat yourself. That's what they say. All right. Well, I am Greg.
And I'm Eric.
And we are the Daddies. Once again, happy 4th of July, and thank you for listening.